Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of MetraAV Tech Tips Solutions.
Hey,
I'm Adam, and with me today I have...
And I'm Brent. No, I'm not Brent. I'm the much better looking Brent, as he would say. I wouldn't say that about me, but I'm Will, and I am here to ask Adam questions and be with you all today. So
yeah. So today is kind of a trial. We're going to try out basically a new setup for us, a new video series. We're going to be doing AV Tech Tips Solutions products, solutions to what you're going through. One of the things that we did last Wednesday, of course, was we were talking about AVRs, what they are, how they work, and all that kind of good stuff. And so this was a good opportunity for us to talk about breaking audio out. And so we're using that as our topic of the day today.
Yeah. So does that mean like we're getting out the speakers, like we're gonna have a little party here, maybe some tunes?
I wish.
What? Is that like this cool guy back here? Is that you're gonna play music for us today?
I wish, not quite. And
no,
because we don't want to lose our we don't want a copyright strike.
Oh, okay.
No, but what we are talking about today is audio breakouts.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay. All right. So with the audio breakout tools, what we have, of course, we've got 4 of them available right now. We have our original CS HDM ABO, which is just stands for HDMI Audio Breakout. Then from there we have the ABO 2, ABO 3, and the ABO D.
Wow, that's at least 4? 4. But before you get started with all these letters and these numbers, can you explain to me what's an audio breakout? I thought it was playing music. Does that have anything to do with breaking out the audio? Can you explain what it is?
It does. So basically, how it works is that so we're not breaking out audio, or music, breaking, whatever, having dance parties or whatever.
No. Okay.
But what we are doing is we're going to take an HDMI signal and we're going to take the audio off of the HDMI cable.
Okay.
And we're going to break it out. And use it somewhere else. So in many cases, we have, of course, the ability to break out the digital audio, and we can use that for like surround sound audio.
Okay.
Or we're going to break it out on the analog audio. And so we're going to use that as well. So
awesome.
Everybody, again, as always, thank you for checking in today. If you have any questions about what we're talking about today, leave it over in the chat section over here on the side, or you can leave it down below in the comment section below. And then, as always, whatever you bring up, if it's about what we're talking about today, we're going to chat about it and see what we can help out with.
Yeah, that was fun. Last episode, we had a pretty good chat going, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. No, that was a lot of fun. It was great to have so many. Actually, that was the most engaging episode that we've had yet.
Yeah,
there was so much to talk about.
That was a lot of fun. So thanks.
So I guess for now, what we should do is kind of go ahead and start off with the first audio breakout and kind of talk about what it's capable of and what it does. So from there, the nice thing about this is that it's got pretty much all the information right here on the back of the product. So I say we just kind of talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead. Educate me.
All right. So the original audio breakout, it's got HDMI pass-through and it de-embeds the audio at the same time. So of course, what this does is it does take the audio, whether it be surround sound or stereo, and it goes to the HDMI input and it retains that audio on the HDMI output. Now this is important because we want to make sure that in certain circumstances, we have that audio for like a surround sound receiver or a TV in a different area.
Okay.
Before we break out the audio.
Right.
So then of course it does have a digital toslink out and a coax out. Now on those, I'm actually going to switch our camera view here. See if I hit the right thing. There we go. So on this here, what we have, of course, is we've got our toslink output, we have our digital coax output, and we have a 3.5 stereo output as well. So with this piece here, one of the big things to remember about it is that it does have the ability to break out Dolby audio and surround sound audio. However, it doesn't do any down mixing.
Okay.
You know what down mixing is? Not quite. So with the down mixing, what we're going to be able to do is take that surround sound audio that is a multi-channel. So earlier today, you and I were talking about a surround sound system for your house.
Yeah.
And what that is, of course, is you've got 5 speakers or more in a surround sound system. And what it does is it takes all that audio and it mixes it down to just 2 channels.
Okay.
So it's left and right stereo.
Right.
Cool. So what this does not do is that. It does not do the audio breakdown. So that's one thing to be aware of when you're using it. The other thing is that the original audio breakout, so the CS-HDM ABO, is only 1080p. It's not meant for 4K. Right?
Wah, wah, wah.
Now, it's great because it's a price point that's really competitive for that purpose.
Yeah,
if you don't need 4K, it's a perfect solution.
You didn't have 4K.
I don't have 4K at my own house. And so I don't know if anybody else caught that audio beforehand, but yeah, you've got 4K.
Built into the TV.
Yeah, right?
Just can't let go of those old TVs, can you?
So no, yeah, no,
They cost too much.
They're still working, right? And yeah, exactly. I put too much money into it originally. So with this HDMI converter, just a couple things to be aware of. No 4K, and it doesn't do down mixing, but it still has purpose. So if you have an older Apple TV that's only 1080p, you can use it with this and set it to stereo so that you can then break out the audio and go to like a distribution system or an audio distribution system. And what that would do, of course, is like if you had speakers in the kitchen or the bedroom or out back or something like that, it would distribute that audio elsewhere. But you can still keep the HDMI output and put it up on the TV so you can see what it is that you're listening to. Makes it kind of handy, right? Yeah, yeah, man. Big brain stuff.
Did you get that, Brandon? Did you understand that?
I zoned out.
That's all right.
Sounds amazing.
It's a lot of good information.
I mean, sign me up. I'll take 3 of them. Do I need 1, 2? Do you need multiple ones?
You would need.
Or how do you do that?
It all depends on how you have it laid out. So most cases, you'll need 1 per source. So if you've got an Apple TV, if you've got a Blu-ray player, if you've got a Roku, if you've got an Xbox, you'll need 1 per each device.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, unless of course you've got like a switch, you can put it on the output of the switch.
Yeah.
And use it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we should offer up like a sweet deal. We'll talk to the sales guys about it.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
You need a lot of them.
Contact your sales rep on all the pieces that we're talking about today. Maybe we'll be able to do something for that.
That'd be awesome.
So the next one, of course, we've got the CS-HDM ABO2.
2?
Yeah, Gen 2.
Gen 2.
Generation 2.
Yes.
So, Will, do you know what the difference is between Generation 1 and Generation 2?
Oh, man. The clothes, the music, the just the words that people were saying. Is that about right?
Sure. Yeah. In normal use cases.
Gen 1, Gen 2. I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess.
Okay, you ready?
I'm going to guess it does 4K.
Yes.
That was my guess.
There you go. There you go. It does do 4K. So the biggest difference between Gen 1 and Gen 2 is that this one does jump up and do 4K.
Okay.
Now, there's one drawback for this piece, though. This was an early one that we released, and so there was a few things that it did not do that we weren't able to do when we first released it.
Right.
It does strip the audio off of the HDMI cable, which means that the HDMI output does not retain that HDMI audio. So if you have it going to like a TV or a receiver or something else after it, there's no audio on the HDMI anymore. So it only strips the audio off and it outputs it through, again, a digital toslink or digital coax or a 3.5 right-left stereo connection.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You get that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good. Okay, cool. All right. So that's the biggest differences between the original one and this one. So where would we use that? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
where would we?
That was the same place as you would use the first one.
That was my
pretty
next
much,
question.
yeah. You're pretty much going to use it in the same location as the first one. However, in the case that you need to make sure that you don't need audio at the TV or at the receiver.
I mean, I watch TV with no audio all the time.
Well, and you may be using in your space where I don't know why you are. What are you doing?
There's no audio in there right now.
This is true. There is no audio in there.
Yeah.
So with the
at work, you can watch the Masters with no audio.
Are we doing that?
No, I was just.
There's no way that we're doing that, right?
Yeah,
in theory, we're watching the Masters with no audio.
Then guys in sales can make calls and it doesn't affect anybody, right?
Correct. Yeah. No. Okay. So in this case, this would be something where I don't need to worry about audio, or if I have a distributed audio system, which many people do, that has 2 speakers in the ceiling where the TV is, it's not going to be a problem because I don't need audio for the TV. I need to break out the audio for those speakers in the ceiling.
Okay.
And that's where this would come into play.
Okay.
Really good use case for that. Right. Biggest difference, of course, is that
I would have thought maybe it was for like TVs that were like, showing like ads that you don't, in like convention centers where you don't need volume, but you just need that. But then why wouldn't you just set it up for both?
Pretty much.
For when you need
to. Pretty much. And so in this case, this is the main thing about this was that this was the first one that we had for 4K. It was the first one that we were able to. Unfortunately, we lost the audio, but it was an early one. But it still has a use today. It's at a really great price point. Again, reach out to your reps, reach out to your distributors to find out pricing. It's really good use for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I see where you're going with these. And number 3 is coming next.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you know which one comes next? What comes after 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's number 3 unless you went to C. You went to B?
B.
B.
Nope.
A?
Nope. We did go to 3. You had it right the first time.
Yeah. Well, you were trying to trick me.
I was.
So number 3 here. This one does 4K. It's got the audio input channel, the coax, and the Toslink. I have no idea.
You're close. You're almost there. I mean, you can keep going.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
So this one, I bet,
Let's see.
has audio capabilities.
It has audio capabilities. That's right.
Yep. So it doesn't strip the audio.
Correct.
All right. And back to you, Adam.
All right.
Yeah.
So really close, really good on that one. I mean, honestly, you nailed it really well. So basically with this one, what it's going to do is it's going to take the HDMI connection, keep the audio on the HDMI as it leaves and goes to the TV, so we can have the audio there. And it does 4K, so you had that right.
All right.
And it can break up the audio onto Toslink connection, digital coax, and it does have a 3.5 stereo connection. Okay. So it's the same as the 2 and the 1 as far as connections are concerned. Okay. But what it's able to do, of course, is it's able to keep the audio on the HDMI. Mm-hmm. Now, there's still one thing that this does not do.
Yeah, that's because
that's where that one comes in next, right?
More.
Yeah, we got one more, baby. We got one more.
I got one on the way too. There's one thing it doesn't do. I can think of a lot of things I'd want that thing to do.
Yeah, me too. So what this one doesn't do specifically is it does not downmix. Right? Yeah. It doesn't take that surround sound and put it down. Yeah.
Doesn't really. It plays the music, but you got to do it yourself. It doesn't.
Yeah. They're not, it's not down to mix.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Not quite. Reverse that. It doesn't
down mix.
Yeah, it doesn't down mix.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, what that means then, of course, is that the use case for this is you need to keep the audio on the HDMI connection. Oh, cool. You need to keep the HDMI audio on the connection as it leaves it to maybe go to a TV that doesn't have in-ceiling speakers or something. Okay. And of course, it does break out the audio at that point if you don't need to down mix. So be aware of that. If you don't need to down mix, really good use case for it. Okay. Or if you do need to switch between surround sound versus audio throughout whatever, just be aware that you do need to change that from PCM to surround sound and then back whenever you want to use the breakout portion.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that all the time, and when I run into an issue, what do?
You call me.
I call tech support.
There you go.
Number right there.
So we got Nick Danger. He's asking, HDMI carries 16 channels of audio. How do I get them out discreetly? It's a really good question, Nick. That's kind of where we're going next. So the thing with the HDMI, the 16 channels, you're in the ballpark of Dolby Atmos and Dolby DTS. Sorry, not Dolby DTS. That was bad. Dolby Atmos and DTS-X. So with that, there is no way to break out that audio. It has to be used on an HDMI connection. So that's just the requirements of that type of audio. For whatever reason, they decided that it needs to be on an HDMI connection. In fact, if you want to use HDMI for like Dolby Atmos on like a surround sound system through ARC or anything else, if you're using like a TV with smart apps and stuff in it, you still have to use an HDMI cable to get that audio back using the audio return channel, using eARC specifically on that. So really good question. Okay, one last thing that we've got.
This is number 4. Number 4. And this one, has selectable HDMI audio on HDMI and output for native pass-through. That's a big difference. 5.1 channel. Or PCM2 channel. What'd you say?
It doesn't have a 3.5 jack.
It doesn't have a 3.5 jack. It is an RCA output. Yeah, there you go. Brandon's hired. So this one here, this does have, again, it's an audio breakout. You're right on track with what it's capable of doing. Some really great stuff. This is my favorite one just because this is the one that does it all, basically. Right? So the other ones are great because really great price points for all of those. And if you don't need to spend the extra money for the one that does it all, go for the one that does what you need. But the nice thing is that you have one of these in stock pretty much at all times because maybe you need to break out audio and you're not sure what you're going to need at that point. You've got it there. That's where some other stuff comes into play.
Yeah,
which we're going to talk about those, aren't we?
At some point,
yeah.
But you reminded me by saying, you always want to be prepared and have one on the truck or in the kit.
Yep, exactly.
Because when you do run into it, it can, cause a big slowdown.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
Time, money. It's all costly.
Yep.
So.
You want to save that. So have these in stock.
Yep.
That way you don't need to worry about, do I need to order the one that does have this or doesn't have that? You can make sure to have one that does have both of it or all of it. So like Brandon, our producer back here, was saying, this one does not have a 3.5 output for stereo audio.
That's number 5.
Nope, not quite. Not yet. This one does have RCA output. So it's got left and right RCA outputs instead. So you don't need to use an adapter to convert it from the 3.5 to an RCA connection.
Gotcha.
It already has the RCAs right there.
RCAs, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing that this one doesn't have, we did lose something else. We lost digital coax. So very rarely do you need digital coax. I don't know how often digital coax is actually used out there.
It's going to throw a little.
But
Father son.
it's going to throw a little bit of a kink in your
No.
weekend.
I was just
You're
paying
good?
my respects to
okay.
digital coax.
Yeah. Sorry, digital coax.
Yeah.
It was good while it was here.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's no longer necessary.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, there's a good reason.
Yeah.
Move on. Yeah.
So, use cases. When do we use this one? Pretty much all the cases from this, from all the ones before, but also now we can do down mixing. So this one is perfect in the situations, right? Yeah. We use this one where we've got an Apple TV or a Roku or a Blu-ray player or whatever it is that you need to get the audio off of it.
Yeah.
Into like a distributed audio system, but you also want to keep surround sound audio for like a surround sound receiver in a theater.
Right.
So this is perfect for that because it does do that. The HDMI output keeps the audio on it as well. Now this does not work with Dolby Atmos. That was what I was talking about before. If you were to turn on Dolby Atmos, the rest of the outputs would basically shut off because it doesn't use any of it, or you would get a garbled audio situation. So now there's a few other things we need to talk about.
Yeah. What is it?
Okay. So on the front of the unit, we have selectable EDIT information. So with this here, I'm going to switch over to the top camera so we can look at that.
Selectable EDIT.
So the selectable EDIT on the front of the unit here, we've got TV, bitstream, and 2-channel. So with TV, bitstream, and 2-channel, what that allows us to do, it allows us to tell the source device what kind of audio we want. It's basically allowing us to send the information back to the source device and say, hey, source, you are connected to a bitstream device. Now, bitstream, of course, basically means that give me whatever audio you have, the highest capable audio system that you have. Give me that information.
Yeah.
Or give me bitstream. 2-channel, of course, means, hey, only give me 2-channel audio. Just send me just left and right. That's all I want. And lastly, TV. TV is basically pass-through. So that means that whatever is connected to the output for the HDMI will be all the information. So if this TV was connected to the output of that, what's going to happen is that TV will be the EDIT information going back to the source. So it's going to say, hey, I'm a TV that only has stereo audio and I only want stereo audio, so just give me stereo audio.
Okay.
And so then at that point, it just passes that information all the way through.
Okay.
Now, if it was a surround sound receiver, it would pass that information back and say, hey, I'm a surround sound receiver, give me surround sound.
Sure.
And that's basically how that works.
Yes.
And that's how these devices work. That's where I would use those. Mostly, I'm going to use these devices with one source.
Right.
One at a time kind of a thing. You can use it with like an HDMI switch of some kind. That way you can, use it with multiple sources. Use it with our HDMI switch, like our SW4, is a really great use case for that as well.
All right.
So
nice.
But that's basically what our audio breakouts are.
Yeah. So and this one specifically, it's kind of like MetraAV and the team. We get you what you need, right?
Yeah.
Exactly what you need.
Yep.
So whether it's everything or it is little bits and pieces of what you need without having to go all the way or spend the extra dollar. So I definitely think we have the solutions.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yep, I think we got it for him. So
yeah.
Well, that's pretty much it. Unless you had anything else that you wanted to add to it, any other questions or anything else, I think we're good to go.
You know what, Adam? It's Friday. The Masters are on. We gotta let people go back and enjoy that and enjoy the rest of their weekend. So thank you for tuning in, Adam. Thank you for all your great information today.
Happy to do
Remember to call your sales rep, and if you have any questions, or you can call tech support. Other than that, have an awesome weekend, and thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. We'll see y'all next time.
I'm Will.
I'm Adam.
We're out. Where's the credit?